and they win the NFC South.
What's good, everybody? Let's talk some Tampa sports. We are back. I hope everyone had a really good Thanksgiving, really good holidays. Today's Black Friday. Whatever you're doing on your Black Friday, I hope you enjoy that yourself. We already got a Lightning victory that happened at like 12 o'clock, a little matinee game. So I'm doing well in terms of Tampa sports. Now, going into this weekend, our Bucs are looking to break a 3-game losing streak, losing 4 out of 5. We talked about it in that therapy session. This is where the schedule flips. This is where all signs have pointed towards the Bucs will begin to start getting healthy. I guess we kind of saw it last week with Godwin coming back, but this is where we start seeing the health and the injury luck and hopefully stuff turn around for the Bucs. So the injury report is what we'll start with. Good news. Like I said, all signs over the past few weeks have pointed towards this week being the week things begin to look better. Obviously, the Baker injury, didn't see that one coming. But Ben Bredeson, questionable to return, in play. Chris Godwin, there's no game status. He'll be out there. Jamel Dean, questionable, was a full participant both yesterday and today. That's good news. He's in play. Bucky Irving, full participant all week. I would assume that Bucky is going to play. Baker Mayfield did not practice Wednesday, limited Thursday, full practice Friday. That's trending in the upward direction. Based on what Todd Bowles was saying, it's trending like he could play for the Buccaneers, which, I mean, kind of raises concerns for some people, I'm sure, if he should even play, even if he is like good enough to go. Should he go? They say it's not like what he went through in Cleveland, where there was actual damage to the shoulder. This is truly and honestly, according to them, just a pain tolerance thing. There's no damage. It's just pain tolerance. And there's no risk to further injuring it since it's not damaged, according to them. So, throwing that out there. Benjamin Morrison, out again with a hamstring injury. Anthony Nelson supposedly is questionable with ribs, but he was a full participant today. And then Hassan Reddick, questionable, still in play, has not been ruled out, was limited Wednesday, limited Thursday, full participant today. So that's huge news. Hassan Reddick, full participant today. Baker Mayfield, full participant. Bucky Irving, full participant. Jamel Dean, full participant. Ben Bredeson, full participant. Like I said in that therapy session video, the cavalry is coming. Whether it's this week, the week after, things are trending in the right direction for the Bucs. For the Cardinals, they are an extremely injured team as well. So, want to call that out. Tons of injuries to their running back room. And I know Marvin Harrison Jr. Was dealing with an appendix surgery, which I had to go through probably a decade ago at this point, and that put me out of commission for probably about 2 weeks. So, yeah, it says he's unspecified. As for his game status, they are 3 hours behind us, so I'm assuming that just has not been updated yet. So, let's go ahead and go through our normal routine. We'll go Bucs offense versus Cardinals defense. So the Cardinals, obviously, they are a 3-8 team. They are a team that's pretty much out of playoff contention, dealing with a ton of injuries, ton of bad luck, obviously quarterback, and like there's a lot going on their end, as the Bucs have been going through on our end as well. I can say through all of that, their defense has been very solid. They've been solid against the run, pretty solid against the pass. They can force some turnovers, very opportunistic. I think last week against the Jags, they had a defensive touchdown on a fumble. It's a defense you cannot take lightly. I will 1,000% put that out there. Honestly, a team as a whole, I can't take lightly. And I don't think any of us as Buck fans can take lightly. We're on a 3-game losing streak. Last week, ETN did run well against them, so if Bucky is able to go, I'm sure that'll open some big things up for this offense. And then as well, Sean Tucker, of course, has been trending and playing well. Rashad White hasn't been too bad. I think he averaged like 4.5 against the Rams last week. The game script did not allow them to run the ball very much more than that. You just hope to see something more from this offense. See something that reverts more towards what you saw during those first 6 weeks of the season, where they're putting up 38 in Seattle against a very good Seattle defense. Like, where did that go? Where did those deep shots go where they were just able to open up the offense to Ibuka down the field, and even Shepard having some catches of like 25 plus? Like, you just, if we have another game where it's just like 10 wide receiver screens and Baker's just having to throw the ball over people's heads and getting, like, I can't do this with the offense anymore. It's getting difficult to watch. But like I said, hopefully Bredesen is back and Bucky's back, and just the chemistry can get back going and this team can start clicking at the right time. That's all you can really hope for offensively. It's a good defense they're going up against once again, despite the record being 3-8. They got a pretty good pass rush. In the secondary, of course, they got Budda Baker, but Will Johnson, the rookie out of Michigan, is having a pretty good year himself. So definitely things to look for. Calais Campbell somehow is still just out there. What is he, like 38 now at this point? Drafted in 2008. I was 8 years old. My goodness. And it's still getting the job done at a high level. Top 10 defensive lineman, according to Pro Football Focus. That's crazy. So let's go ahead and flip this. I feel like there's more to talk about the Bucs defense versus the Cardinals offense, obviously, because of how bad the defense has been playing for the Bucs, giving up 28 plus points over the last 2 weeks. It's been ugly. It has been ugly. But you're going up against Cardinals team that I would say is not very diverse offensively. They cannot run the football. Just consistently throughout the year, all of the injuries to their running back room, they just cannot run the football. And it's really been on Jacoby Brissett's shoulders ever since he stepped in for Kyler Murray to lead this offense. And it's been a lot of weight on his shoulders. Like, let me pull up the numbers. So against the Jaguars, Jacoby Brissett threw the football 49 times. And it's not like they're getting blown out or anything like that. Like, these are close games. They just can't run the football. And they're putting the ball in Jacoby Brissett's hands. Against the 49ers, 57 attempts. He went 47 for 57, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. When I tell y'all, it is just a passing attack for this Cardinals team. Against the Seahawks, 22 of 44. So yeah, they're just putting it, like I said, in Jacoby Brissett's hands to win the football game and put up points for this offense. Their offensive line, I would not say has been great, especially as of late. And one thing about your offense being one-dimensional and not being able to run the football, you know that your quarterback is going to be dropping back and passing over and over and over. And what that allows the defense to do, whether the Bucs defense will be able to do it or not, is rush the passer. Because you know they're just going to drop back and throw. You're able, as edge rushers, to just pin back and go. So, I mean, once again, this shows in the numbers as well. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jacoby Brissett was sacked 6 times for 44 yards. Let's keep going backwards. Against the Seattle Seahawks, sacked 5 times for 52 yards. Against the Dallas Cowboys, 5 times for 40 yards. Against the Green Bay Packers, 6 times for 43 yards. So you guys kind of get the point. I hope so. If you're going to be throwing the ball that many times, and if the game script and just your offense in general is pointing towards you throwing the ball that much, it makes it easier on a defensive line, on a defense in general. So I think I went through 4 games there, so that's 4 of their last 5 games. It might go back even further than that, but that's 4 of their last 5 games where they've allowed Jacoby Brissett on the ground at least 5 times in a game. So that does once again go back to the personnel for the Bucs. Anthony Nelson, Yaya Diaby, and Will Hassan Reddick end up returning for the Buccaneers. Then the other thing there is, of course, our secondary, specifically our corners. Our safeties have been fantastic, but specifically our corners. Zion McCollum. It's going to have to be better because you're going to get targeted a lot, especially if Marvin Harrison Jr. is out there. So Marvin Harrison, obviously very talented. Michael Wilson, I think, has at least 10 catches in his last 2 games, so he's getting a bunch of production. Greg Dortch had a touchdown last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you have that to deal with outside. And then on the inside, that is their bread and butter with Trey McBride. Easily a top 3 tight end in the NFL at this point. So we know the issues the Bucs continue to have. Right here in the middle of the field, what do the Bucs do with Trey McBride? Do they have Winfield on him, Tyke Smith on him? How do they handle this issue right here, because this is an issue. And Jacoby Brissett, the numbers he's been putting up, don't think of him as just this backup quarterback. He's been putting up numbers, like crazy numbers, tons of yards, and a lot of that goes to Trey McBride. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem for Todd Bowles to figure out. The Bucs have to be able to get this win. You're at home. You're starting a 3-game homestand. You're going at home against the Cardinals, at home against the Saints, at home against the Falcons. You have to start this off with a dub. You have to start off this next portion of the season where you're looking at this and being like, okay, all of those extremely tough opponents are behind us. They're behind us, and we're sitting at an above 500 record, despite a lot of us thinking it should be better than that. I agree. But we're sitting at above 500 with all the tough games behind us. Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. Come on. This stretch that leads directly into the playoffs, the good play, better defense, an offense that clicks, it has to start now. It has to start now. Or red flags, they're already raised for a ton of people, will continue to be raised for more and more as to what this team can do going forward. It has to get better, and it has to start Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Cardinals. Also Sunday against the Cardinals, former Cardinal and Buccaneer player Simeon Rice will be getting inducted into the Buccaneers Ring of Honor. So I'll be very excited to see him get inducted at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday. John Gruden is going to be the captain of the crew, so I'm sure he's going to bring a ton of energy to that stadium. So I'm hype. I'm ready to go. Will the Bucs be ready to go? Will that offense, will Josh Grizzard be ready to go? Will this defense, will Zion McCollum, will this pass rush be ready to go? That will have to wait towards game time. I'm going to need some drinks for this one. That's going to be it for me, though. Leave your comments down below what your score predictions, thoughts on this game may be. I think the Bucs can obviously come out with this win. I think they're the better, more talented team overall. But just the way they've been playing, it's hard to put a ton of trust in this team, if I'm being honest. As biased as I may be, it's hard to trust this team, even in a game against a 3-8 team. And it's not like this is a 3-8 team that's been getting blown out week after week. They're playing close game week after week, and a lot of times just blowing leads at the end. They got to figure this one out. They got to. Once again, that's going to be it for me. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. Like and subscribe if you're not already. Go Bucs. Y'all have a blessed one.
Hey, hey, Tampa Bay.